Oh, hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Ed Block Couragecast. It's a little early this week, and for good reason. It is Thanksgiving week. A happy Thanksgiving to everybody from all of us here at the Ed Block Couragecast. I'm your host, Dave Steinwedel, and to satisfy the cravings of listening to great conversations during Thanksgiving that don't involve around the family table or the politics that might be talked about or the bad sports takes that you will hear. Please relax and enjoy yourself for what should be a very fun Ed Block Couragecast this week. We have the first announced 2024 Ed Block Courage Award recipient going to join us a little later. We're going to talk some food with one of the catering managers from the local is going to join us a little later to talk about the big Holizay Party that we'll touch on just in a moment here, and talk some Thanksgiving food. Because, you know, as I bring in my guys, former NFL offensive lineman with the Ravens, the Saints, and the Browns, Wally Williams, and former Bengals, Vikings, and Kansas City Chiefs defensive lineman Duane Clemons, Thanksgiving is really known for a couple of things: food, family, and football. I mean, so why not, guys? Why not talk about all of that here tonight?
It'll be a different conversation, man. It'll be a different conversation. Look, and DC can tell you this. We're just being honest, not just being honest. You know, Thanksgiving for me, okay, was for, I'll admit is I had to go to practice.
Yes, it did. They don't remember that.
Right. Like I see that food over there, let me get me a plate and let me go sit down and put this ice on my knee or something like that because I got to go to practice tomorrow. And some of us either play on that day or definitely playing that weekend. So it's still tense. No days off, baby. No days off.
No days off. Wally, I remember the first time my mother-in-law came to my house for the holidays. You know, I'm a rookie and I'm under all kind of scrutiny. I'm a rookie. I'm barely playing. I'm not starting. I'm getting all this bad press. I done fired my agent, so I'm out here alone, cold,
right,
skinny, and the holidays roll around, and she thinking I'm about to come home from work and make gingerbread houses with the kids, and it's like, no, ma'am. You understand? I'm about to go swallow 2 Percocets, go downstairs, smoke a joint, pass out, and get ready to go fight some grown-ass men tomorrow morning. I got Corey Stringer and Dave Dixon waiting on me at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. I got to be in that weight room, and then I got to take on that double team all day. And Denny Green wasn't playing with me, and then I got John Randall and Chris Dolman on both sides, like, wishing I would mess up so they could rip me a new one. So I was like, woman, you don't understand the world I'm living in right now. I'm gangbanging until the holidays end, and maybe sometime in January you might see a human being. But right now I'm just an animal trying to lick his wounds and then get back out there in Serengeti.
Hey, did you ever play on Thursday? Did you ever play on
Thanksgiving
Day?
That was one of my favorite games when Randy Moss broke the record. You know,
there you go.
Against Dallas, boy, we had a good old time down there. The turducken and all that.
Hey, so Dave, there you go, Dave. That's what really happens on Thanksgiving Day, baby, right there.
That's right. Yeah. Not so glamorous for the professional players here in this show. So, DC, you talked about Wally. How many times did you play on Thanksgiving?
I did not get a chance to play, man. We never had a team that was good enough.
I believe I got to play twice.
Hey, everybody was pissed with the Browns when we moved to Baltimore, and then everybody was pissed with Baltimore because they're not the Browns. So you got a double-edged sword right there. We weren't getting any kind of that wasn't happening. It wasn't happening at all.
So DC, since you got to play on Thanksgiving, what is that like as a player playing on Thanksgiving?
Well, it was a lot of fun because, one, I got to go to Detroit, and it was I think the first time I played on things, I went to Detroit, and obviously it was Barry Sanders, and, it's kind of like playing against your childhood hero. And so that part of it was amazing. Now, we obviously went to Detroit, had a little too much fun. I ain't going to go into it, but that lion did a lot of roaring that day, and Barry went for about 201. I forgot how much he did, but he ripped us a new one. But boy, that lion was
and that thing can get loud.
Like, God damn, you shut that lion off. And then, of course, my second time on Thanksgiving, we had Randy Moss. So, we got to do a lot of rowing. We were down in Big D and got to party on the Star. And I was like, everybody was there. I forgot to get the Eddie Winslow from like Family Ties was in the tunnel with us. And it was a good time seeing all those celebrities come out for a holiday and then, to get a victory. And especially it was a splashy victory. I think to this day, I think I see flashes of that game almost every Thanksgiving because Randy Moss, I think, broke a record that day.
Did the game to you as a player feel more important?
No, it didn't really feel more important. It just felt like it was a bigger entertainment venue in the terms of like how many eyes were going to be on us. It definitely felt like the whole world was watching us. But in terms of like, the season, it was like, okay, this is another game, win or lose. We always played every game with the utmost ferocity. But, you do realize that everybody's watching you because, it's a holiday and ain't nothing else on.
Right.
I was going to say, there's really is nothing else on. And there's an interesting slate of Thanksgiving games.
The Westminster Dog Show, that's on. Sometimes I take the channel back and forth with that.
Oh, yeah, now they got so much stuff, puppy bowls and all this other stuff. I know, that's at Christmas.
All right,
I think the puppy bowl is Christmas.
Yeah.
Giants Cowboys. Tell me one reason why that game will be watchable on Thursday.
I think people will watch that game just to see the ultimate demise or the rise of the Cowboys. I think people are entertained by both. The Cowboys season has been disastrous. You had injuries with Dak, and that team just never really it really just never got going. It didn't do anything in free agency, so they are what they are. But I think it's just, the Cowboys are an entity of itself. Okay, they have a fan base that's rabid. Okay, and just that symbol is going to bring the viewer. So that game wins, but is that game going to be entertaining? You know what? I don't know. Who knows? It may be 35-38. Who knows? But I just think the Cowboys brand itself will just make you watch.
Well, Wally, you know what this time of year is, this time of year is when guys got to start playing for their jobs. So I feel like we got two train wrecks of teams getting ready to meet, and now this is like the last hurrah for guys that are figuring out, like, listen, there's going to be coaching changes, there's going to be offensive coordinator changes, maybe GM changes. So,
Right.
Only thing we do know, there will be some heads rolling in the next 6 weeks. So now you're going to see the best of guys coming up, and hopefully some of these guys that have been backups, that have been waiting for their chance, they'll get to shoot their shot. Maybe you find a diamond in the rough or two that surprises you, that you just been waiting in the wings for some of these players to fall off or to maybe kind of move out the way because now their contracts are going to be up, so they want to see what they got in the coverage. So I think it's going to be interesting to see these two train wrecks try to kind of go through these last 6 weeks where they're more almost in an evaluation process for what's going to happen next year, not so much shooting a shot for, the postseason this year.
Isn't it interesting, though, to see how this is played out and the way it was, pretty much, shown to you on Hard Knocks on how the Giants just blew it.
Yeah.
Okay. And the effects on how that, the effect that it has on your team during the season. It's just so interesting how that played out and how we just watched that in real time. It's crazy.
It is a living nightmare to watch any NFL team that has a below average quarterback and how just everything unravels around that reality when, you just can't get right. There is nothing you can do to solve that problem of having below average quarterback play. And it's just a miserable 17, 18-week process of watching its demise.
Now, Dave, I want to ask you, man. I want to ask you a question right quick. Interview you right quick. As a fan, we on the me and D kind of on the inside, but as a fan of this game, is it entertaining? One question is it entertaining? And the second question is it smart? Because I think I just saw this thing covered up on Hard Knocks, like in season. Did I see the Ravens and the Steelers coming up in this thing?
Yeah, so the in-season Hard Knocks features the entire AFC North this year.
Mm-hmm.
So there is an entertainment factor to it. And like Dallas is entertaining. Dallas is always going to be entertaining. That's why Dallas always dominates the airwaves. Is because you always care about what's going to happen. I hate watching the Cowboys sometimes because I'm not a big Jerry Jones guy. So I like to see sad Jerry Jones, as I call it, during the game when the Cowboys are losing. So as a fan, yeah, there is an entertainment factor to this. I think as somebody that understands and watches the game, you were talking, DC, about the quarterback play. Look, Daniel Jones was not great. Been very outspoken about
right.
this. This is not new news to everybody. But very hard to be even an average quarterback when you just don't have the pieces. And you've let so many pieces go. Your offensive line, average at best when healthy, hasn't been healthy. Like the Giants, to me, have always been set up for failure. And it was just so evident when you watched that Hard Knocks and you just saw how the organization was going that it just
I couldn't believe it.
That it just sort of felt like they didn't have a great idea of what they wanted to do. And look, we can bash the Giants GM all we want for the Saquon stuff, and there's a level of that because I think you have this. He absolutely has earned it.
He's earned it.
His problem is the same thing that the Tennessee Titans general manager did and the Las Vegas Raiders general manager did, is gambled on the fact that you had three semi-older running backs in Henry, Barkley, and Jacobs, that the market wasn't going to be there for them, that everybody was going to bail on the running back position because, you don't want the old running back, the old guard. Well, guess what?
Them old men is running.
It makes a big difference when those guys are on your team. Because, look, Philadelphia, you take Saquon Barkley off the Eagles, I don't think they're in first place. I'm going to be totally honest. Because of the injuries at the wide receiver position, an offensive line that's not as good as last year's, I don't think they're in first place.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens sure as hell are not in first place.
I mean, Saquon right now is looking like he's running at a different speed. With that run that he had, and I'm not talking about, the one that he broke out the third quarter. Okay, that long run. I'm not talking about that one because that was impressive. I'm talking about the one where he ran inside on that count, on that power. Okay, and he split the safeties and just ran right in between them and outran both of them. I mean, he was slowing down and still running past. You know what I'm saying? He's moving at a different tempo. He takes one step and you say, okay, gone.
Over.
No, right. Okay, and it's over. So, look, I totally agree with the misconception of what the running back position has always been. It still is football. And last time I checked, that is a callus of our game. You have to have a back. You got to have a quarterback, and you got to have a receiver. Emmett, Aikman, Irvin. Okay, you keep it going. Whatever combination you want to put out there, you got to have that combination offensively. So I don't know what the value was. I guess the owner said, you know what, we can't play quarterbacks, running backs, and receiver. So somebody had to take the dip on this one, and they just decided that position.
Well, do you guys kind of feel like maybe because the owners did kind of collude and kind of create this piss poor market for the running backs, that now all these receivers are hurt and all these $30 million, $50 million, $40 million guys are sitting on the bench watching, and it's all these running backs that are doing dirt. You got Jacobs, you got Henry, you got Saquon, and they're leading the charge, making the most production. And almost every team has lost their number one or two receiver.
Well, I mean, look at the production of the receivers over the years, and look what has carried teams and all those things like that. The passing game has become a premium, but the position itself, the wide receiver position itself, who says those guys don't burn out after 5 years?
I see the running backs making a huge difference.
Right. And who makes the huge difference in that gap right there? Your number one guy, Jefferson, okay, he's number one right now. But, is Wilson going to overtake him next year if he gets another quarterback? I mean, is Pickens going to overtake him which guy is going to be number one, and then which guy is going to be around for 13 years? You ask that question, and then which player is going to be important? Because I see a lot of decoy guys, okay, making openings for number 3 receivers or your second tight end. I mean, right now, Gray has caught more touchdown passes than Kelsey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're starting to see the change of the guard. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, we're seeing it. We're seeing it. Hey, listen, we live in real life here. We ain't scared of the truth.
Okay. All right, you know what I'm saying? So the game does move on, and it does, replace you. That's why we sit here and talk about it now, and there's another number 92 out there playing for the Vikings and the teams out there. There's another 63 playing for the Ravens, Saints, and all those things like that. So, we have our shot, but it does move past you. You just have to make your time and be valuable when you have the opportunity. And I still I think everything is built on the run game. And maybe I'll be biased because I'm a lineman, I'm an O-lineman and a center at that. But you have to have a strong running game and a back to take care of that business before you start any kind of offensive conflict.
All right.
They break it down for us. Is the running game what's running the ship right now in the NFL?
The running game, I think it is. I think it's always the catalyst of it.
I think at the end of the day, look, you can have a flashy offense, but to win championships, it still comes down to, can you run the ball and can you play defense? You look at your Chiefs, DC, from last year. If it wasn't for Isaiah Pacheco, I don't think Kansas City wins a Super Bowl. I don't. Because as good as that defense was, that offense could not win solely on Patrick Mahomes' arm. And that's not saying that Mahomes couldn't do it. It's that there wasn't the talent that had been there. But you get Pacheco in that run game going, and then it opens up the passing game. And then it allows Patrick Mahomes to be great. That's why, until the end of time, that's what's going to hold the Bills back from ever being in the Ravens or the Chiefs category, is because they never have a run game. That when it's crunch time and you need to kind of grind it out early in the game, it's just not there. It's just not there.
Look at San Francisco without the run game. All them great receivers, but guess what? Without the run game, it ain't the
same, man. 4-minute offense. We can't let you guys
got
get
two
back
great running backs, and they tearing everybody apart.
Bingo.
Green Bay, Jacobs is slicing and dicing. Well, even the Vikings got a good running back. I mean, what's
Aaron Jones?
The running game is running the world right now. From where I'm sitting.
All right, we do. But not even to mention Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's got 3 running backs.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
and they've had,
when they get hot, they get hot.
All right. We need to step aside. We have a loaded podcast for you, as we mentioned at the beginning. Cory Trice, the first 2024 Ed Block Courage Award recipient with the Pittsburgh Steelers, is going to join us here in a moment. We're going to talk about what that recognition means for him, the resurging Pittsburgh Steelers season ahead. We're going to talk some food here in a little bit, and I know we're all excited about this conversation as well with Shania Marlies, a catering chef at The Local, who will be a part of our Holizay Party December 9th. We are all going to be there with a live podcast and Q&A session with Zay Flowers. Tickets are $100. It will, you can find out all the information on our website, on our Facebook page, and we'll have it linked at the bottom. But a really great night, great food. Monday Night Football will be happening. We'll get a chance to talk to Zay. Everybody in attendance will get a Zay Flowers autograph picture. Tickets are $100, and all the proceeds are going to the Baltimore Ravens Courage House, St. Vincent Villa. So we'll talk to Shania. And then we wrap up this podcast with a really fun conversation with former Titans Ed Block Courage Award recipient Blaine Bishop, who I know Wally has been dying to have a conversation with him. So cannot wait for that. We're going to take a break to get ourselves ready, and Cory Trice is on the other side of this commercial break. Welcome back to the Ed Block Couragecast. As we told you, look, it is a absolutely loaded podcast. What better way to prime yourself for Thanksgiving than what we have in store for you now? Dave Steinwedel, Wally Williams, DC, here with you, and pleased to be joined. He's the first officially announced Ed Block Courage Award recipient this year with the Pittsburgh Steelers in his second year in the NFL. That would be Cory Trice of the Pittsburgh Steelers is here with us. Cory, congratulations. What does it mean to you to be nominated to be picked by your teammates to be a recipient this year?
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. But it mean a lot, man. Like, especially, the guys, around just see me, put in a lot of work, to come back from the injury and to be able to be able to come back and perform, whenever the team needed me. So it's definitely, a testament to, all the work I've been putting in and perseverance.
Hey, Cory, I want to mess with you a little bit. I'm gonna dial it back and help you a little bit. All right. So, DC, where you play high school football at? What state?
West Side, Cali.
All right. So I played high school football in Florida, FLA.
Yeah.
All right. You came out of Kentucky. All right. Give me five guys out of Kentucky. All right. Straight from Kentucky. That's in the NFL.
Yeah. I can't, man. But matter of fact,
Jason Dunn, I'll give you one.
On the team, boy, Benny Bishop, my guy, on the team. He from Louisville, man. But it's definitely not a lot of guys, man. But hey, man, I went to college at Purdue, man, and I didn't play against a lot of Florida people, man. I feel like I can definitely play in Florida for sure. For sure.
So, Cory, coming from Cali, it wasn't on the field. It's like, could you survive the streets of Cali to get to the field and get back home?
Man, what?
Day in, day out to 18.
Hey, man. hey, I'm in a small area, so everybody know everybody. So you gonna always run into people. So, man, it was tough growing up, but mom definitely, and my people definitely, kept me on the right track, though.
Now, Cory, have you ran into Mike Allstott? That's one of your big alumni at Purdue, right?
I don't think I have. I don't think I have.
So, I played against Purdue when I was at Cal, man, and I don't think we've ever got shellacked like that. Y'all beat us like 54 to like nothing. And y'all got that big train whistle and that drum.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Wally, David, if you want to talk about when you getting your ass beat, they blow that damn train whistle and that drum. We were damn near deaf and fucking
up, man. The whole time.
I will never forget that.
No,
All-Star had about 225 on us running.
Yeah. No, facts though, man. Hey, every time we was there, they definitely had that train going.
Woo. The first time you heard that, y'all probably got after. Did you realize how annoying that was for the other team psychologically?
Man, I knew it was like, man, like it was like on third downs, like it was like, man, throughout the whole stadium, that's all you gonna hear. And man, it was love for sure.
Oh man.
So Cory, all right, coming out of Purdue. All right, come out of Purdue, you get to Pittsburgh. All right, and I want to ask you about this scenario because this is a scenario that I was kind of dealt with as well. How do you take on this? Are you coming in there? All right, you're a cornerback, right? But they draft a cornerback, guys playing the same position, and a cornerback who has a name on that field of unit too. So tell me about coming into that situation and performing, not only performing and playing and being contributing with those odds right there, right in front of you from day one.
Man, so when I first got drafted, I was, I didn't really know like what was going on for real, because like I didn't even expect to go to the Steelers. Like I did talk to him like once, but like it was kind of late. I didn't even know, like I wasn't expecting. So like whenever I came in, I definitely knew about Joey. I knew about everything and all that coming in, but I just knew every day I had to show up and work. Like I always trusted my talents, man, and I always do my work and all that gonna take over. So like I was never really worried about competing with him too much, because like I understood being a corner, like there's so many places like you can play on the field, but like I was like every day I was definitely trying to make a play. Like I had to let them know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like that too, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just I come from a small place. I ain't really got a name, but I definitely plan on making one in the league. So I mean that's always been on my mind, man. Just going out there. So I'm just trying to execute every time. But man. Yeah, as soon as I got, I was trying to learn the playbook just so my talents can take over, man.
And how tough is it, Cory? You get drafted in a 7th round, getting ready to go into camp, and then you're placed on injured reserve, and essentially that's it for your rookie year. What was that mindset like for you dealing with all of that as you're just getting into the league?
Man, so at first it was tough. Like whenever it happened, like it was tough. Like it was like, man, I thought it was like over with. Like I couldn't even like see nothing else for real. You know what I'm saying? I definitely thought it was over with. But you know, the coaches that came in and talked with me, and basically all the coaches like Coach T was basically telling me that he expect year 2 things out of me next year. So whenever he told me that, you know, and then I talked with the trainers and all that, felt bad that night, man, and you know, then after that, I woke up the next day, and it was like I was just thinking about like make sure I come back to camp ready. Like I gotta come back to camp ready, like no matter what. Like I gotta learn the playbook. I gotta make sure I'm able just to perform in camp, man, and just be available. And yeah, that was really my biggest thing for real. But whenever they had came and told me that that they was expecting year 2 things out of me, my whole mindset had changed from dang this over to okay, bet like I still got a chance. Like I start to understand the game a little different and see things a little different. So you know, it was definitely needed, man. It was definitely needed. Like you know what I'm saying.
Cory, talking about seeing the game a little different and seeing things a little different. I remember my 5th year in the league, I broke my pelvis, and that was the first time I had ever really had a major injury, one that required surgery. What are you doing different now since your injury to really focus on your longevity? Because, you know, me and Wally, we both understand what it means to get to that 4th year and to be a vested veteran and to know you got a pension and that you got that longevity taken care of. How are you
Yeah.
taking care of your body now as opposed to before your injury?
Man, right now, man, I got like a whole routine down, like far as like making sure I'm well hydrated. You know what I'm saying? I'm make sure I'm well hydrated. Make sure I'm getting like treatments. You know, getting massages and stuff on my body, getting needling. Like I'm getting all the stuff that I didn't like all the stuff that I don't like. I'm getting it, and then every time I get it, I'll be thankful for it. And I'm just really understanding like what it takes to take care of your body. Just seeing guys like TJ and Mink and seeing them boys like performing at a high level and seeing how they take care of their bodies. And I'm the type of always been a sponge, like always the youngest child, so I always like soaked everything up. So I'll just be watching around, I see them in the tubs or I see them doing little things. So I'm adding to my routine and seeing how my body react to it and seeing like what's really for me. So I'm getting in early mornings, making sure I get I gotta get my whole body warmed up before I even like go practice and everything. Like it's definitely a
I can
whole
hear the
routine,
intention.
man.
I can hear the
Like
intention in your voice
yeah,
that
like
now you are really paying attention to that
man,
detail. Like
man,
maintenance is key.
yeah, for real, man. Like it's longevity, man. I just got as long as I'm on the field, everything else gonna take care of itself, man. So I don't care how much it takes. I'll spend whatever, on my body. So I'm with it, man.
Now, you
Yeah.
know what? Just to keep going with that, how much has that picked up since college to pro? 2 years out of college. What's the
Yeah.
difference between body prep and body maintenance than what it was in college?
I feel like college, man, I was just more so like bulking up and just like hitting them weights and just running, hitting them weights and running. And then, man, I seen it was George Karlaftis. I seen
Mm-hmm.
him and how he just like always took care of his body in the training room. We was like, why does man always in the training room? He ain't hurt. But then, there was like a prehab, man. So he doing like hip stuff, all type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used to always do that, especially my last year at Purdue, because I was in grad school, so I didn't have anything. Everything was online, so I was able to spend a lot of time on my body in the training room and shoot. I played it, a whole season. I seen what it did for me, prehabbing, and now coming to the league, man, and just taking it to another level. And stuff that I didn't even know that people, you know what I'm saying? Like just man, people taking
It's
care of
okay
their
to say.
bodies, man.
Do you feel like you were basically a dummy before in the way you took care of your body to where compared to the way you take it now? That's how I felt once I
For
really
sure.
got my routine dialed in.
For
I
sure.
couldn't believe I played 4 years not doing
Yeah.
none of this, and it took me breaking my pelvis to finally realize, oh, you got to be intentional about taking care of your body. It's
Even
not
about
just
eating
to
though.
rub some dirt on it and get back in there.
Yeah, like man, I'm talking about even to eating. Like I'm talking, I'm on a strict like eating plan and everything, like just to make sure, Yeah, I like all that fast food, late night eating, man. Had to like cut all that, man. Like
You ain't doing the Chad Johnson eating McDonald's?
nah, man. You got man. I used to do that, man. High school, man. We used to eat McDonald's for every game, man. Yeah, man, it's crazy how things change, man. Like your body changes, and you gotta
Poisoning
realize
yourself,
like what
huh?
your body can take. Yeah.
Now, Wally and I were both in the AFC North, so we understand what that rivalry means. We got to ask you about, man, coming into the league. You know, I was a Bengal, so I knew what it meant going to Pittsburgh. I know Wally knew what it meant going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You know, Baltimore's still struggling going to Pittsburgh, but we
Yeah.
won't get into that. But you know, tell us what it means to you to be a part of that legendary rivalry of the AFC North, and what it means to go to Cincinnati and to Baltimore and even to Cleveland and to throw down.
So last year I was hurt all year, so like it's different like when you're not like playing and stuff like that. But I actually had went to Cincinnati, and I had sat on the bench, and I had talked to my position coach. And he was just, and he was telling me about how like this league, kind of like the Big Ten with like the backs we got to tackle, and then like it's like big receivers in the conference, and it's like really good receivers, and like this is why we brung you here. So like I hope you're ready like next year, this and that, and like now like my first game back is at Cincinnati. Like man, I'm excited, man. But like Coach T, man, like he don't really care, man. It's like must win. Like he don't care. Like man, whenever we play in the AFC, man, he want to win. Like it don't matter. Like we gotta win. So he just really real deal like installed it into our minds, and like man, we just carrying that throughout the whole day. So we gotta always like prepare like we want to win.
How badly did you want to play in the snow Thursday night? Be honest.
I did. Man, I wanted to play. I definitely wanted to play, man. I definitely want to play, man. It's something, dream of playing in the snow, especially in the lead, and just like doing all that type of stuff, and actually like, I just want to be out there with the guys too, man. Grinding with them, and I just want to be out there, winning and stuff with them. But it's gonna definitely be many more of those opportunities for sure.
You hit on it a little bit, and from the onset, it's always been the Steelers are nothing without Mike Tomlin. It's not the player, okay? It's not anybody. It's Mike Tomlin. So talk about his influence and how he reveals that team and get you guys ready to go on Sunday.
Man, whatever you got in your mind, you feel like you can do. He will make you feel like you can really do it. Like it's different. Like when you believe in yourself. Like first, how you gotta start with you. But then whenever it come like from somebody who been doing it for a long time, who's seen a lot of ball, who who got all the gems, and for somebody like that, man, just to like everything he telling you, he giving you game, like it's up to you to soak it in or like to hear it or not. So man, he won't even be talking to me sometimes. I just be right there. He'll say something cold, man. I'm like, dang, man, it hit me so different. And it's crazy, man. I'm telling you, man. Like anytime.
Give me one. Hey, give me one. Give me one right quick. Give me one.
Man. So like one of his favorite sayings for me is living it, man. Like it's like, man, every time he always say living that life. Like you gotta live that life all the time. Like far as like take care of your body, far as like eating, far as like watching film, far as like all the little things like extra catches after practice, like every time, like if he see you do, he's gonna walk past you and be like, living that life. Like you got a real deal, live that life, and be able to take what come with it, and the good and the bad and everything. So I kind of carry that with me, like throughout life for real, and like you gotta always live that life, man. Whatever you're doing, and be able to take what come with it.
As a player, it's something about having a coach that you respect that gangster. Like,
Yeah.
you feel like, if all 32 head coaches had to go in one of those octagons, you feel like Mike Tomlin coming out that bitch. Like, he gonna be, I'm like,
man.
He
real,
got that swag that you feel like he gonna find a way. He gonna be eye gouging. He gonna be, doing the dirty stuff he got to do, but he gonna come out on top.
Man, he know it. Man, he know what it take. Man, he know what it take. Man, so it's just like he willing to do it. Man, he know. Man, this business. Man, we paid to win. So it's like, man, whatever it take. Man, like we just trying to win.
Wally, I know I'm not supposed to say this, but even as a former Bengal, man, I've always wanted to be in that tunnel during a Mike
Ah,
Tomlin like pregame speech. Just one time, just to come out the tunnel with Mike T. Just to, like, I just know he gonna say some G shit that I gotta hear.
Man,
That's gonna make me go off.
Man, I'm telling you, man, I was on R for a year straight, man. I didn't miss a meeting, man. Like, it didn't even matter, bro. Like, Coach Tom, he always got so much good to say, man. Like, man, he always got some real to say, man. Man, playing or
I can only
not,
imagine.
man, them meetings, like, you got to listen to him, man, for real.
All right, Cory, we have to let you go, but I'm going to get you out of here with one final question.
Yep.
Thanksgiving food.
Yeah.
What is your go-to at a Thanksgiving dinner?
So first, we're gonna go with the so I like sweet potatoes, like my mom's sweet potatoes, like them go crazy. And then you can go, hold on, let me think. It's been so long, man. I always been on the road, playing football or something, or at college. It's been a minute
We
since
was
I
just
had
talking
mom
about that.
Thanksgiving. And then I'm going stuffing for sure. I'm going dressing. I'm going that. What else I'm going? Man, cornbread. Man, really, man, I really can't think about it right now, but yeah, man.
All right, well,
the fixers.
Cory, congratulations. Hopefully we get to see you in March in Baltimore,
Yes.
and you get to come back
I'll be
on
there.
the show. You get to come back on the show with
We'll be
us,
there.
and
We'll
we
be
do
there.
it live. So we
For
can't
sure.
wait for that to happen.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll be there for sure, man. Me and Mom.
We can't
Awesome.
wait to see you in real life, man. It's gonna be on.
Awesome.
Yes, sir,
Yes.
man. Yes, sir. Definitely nice talking to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all.
A lot of fun
No
with
problem.
Cory.
Yes,
We're
sir.
talking
Stay healthy.
Thanksgiving after this. All right. We told you guys coming in that we were going to touch football. Our thanks to Cory Trice, 2024 Ed Block Courage Award recipient with the Pittsburgh Steelers, for joining us. Now we're going to talk about the other side of Thanksgiving, which is the food. And we figured who better than to pull from one of our great sponsors here at the foundation and somebody that will be a big part of what's coming up. And that would be one of the catering chefs at the local who will be with us for a Holizay Party December 9th. That would be Shania Marlies. Shania, thank you for joining us. Take us inside. What do you have planned for December 9th for us?
We have a lot planned for December 9th. Obviously, Zay Flowers will be there, which will be exciting. And then we're gonna have a lot of good food for everybody. Sticking with the football tailgate theme. We'll be having our wings, all kinds of flavors, buffalo, barbecue, our sticky crab wings, which are on our menu now. Our Wagyu chili, crab dip, pulled pork, all kinds of good stuff for everybody to eat and enjoy. I believe you guys will be there doing a podcast Q&A at the time. It's gonna be a good time, I think, for sure.
For some reason, when you said sticky crab wings, I got a chill up my spine. It gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, they're good.
Is there perhaps a back door
absolutely
entrance
delicious.
to the kitchen? Is there a back entrance to the kitchen that we might be able to sneak in for a preview?
I might be able to sneak you some stuff.
That would make you our favorite podcaster by far. You don't know what Wally would do for a snickerdoodle.
Just about anything. Hey, but I do want to ask, here's number one question. What is the most desired thing that is asked for Thanksgiving?
For Thanksgiving?
Mm-hmm.
Like in general?
Yeah, for you, for what you guys make. What is the most desired thing that is asked for?
I mean, definitely, obviously, turkey. Everybody wants turkey.
Mm-hmm. Now, yeah, because it gets complicated based on regions here. I'm a Southern guy, so turkey, yes. Lived in New Orleans. Well, now you got to have those Cajun turkeys, spices and stuff like that. Okay, so you live, here in the deep South, or you have fried turkey, all those things like that. So that's why I asked, what is the most desired one, right there?
I mean, probably the turkey. Definitely ham is a big one. I don't know, just
Now,
like
what about the
it's all
details? Cured, uncured, sugared, mapled, brown
Right.
sugared?
Oh,
well, our
pineapple.
turkey's brine. We leave it in a 24-hour brine, a little bit on the sweeter side.
Mm.
Yeah.
The ham we
Say,
do with like a maple glaze.
sweet and savory.
Yeah. And then we have we're doing a Brussels gratin, which is like a cream. It's got bacon in it, sweet potato,
Cheese and
crispy
bacon.
Brussels sprouts.
Now,
Green beans are a big one.
here's the ultimate question right here. Now, see if you're going to pass this test. All right. Do you put raisins in your potato salad?
No.
Thank God.
I don't think I've ever even heard of that.
Get canceled. Thank you.
If somebody put raisins in my potato salad, I think I'd be a little upset.
That sounds like something they do in Wisconsin or something.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-mm.
All right. So I have to ask because you brought up the sticky wings, crab wings earlier, and I look, as the fat guy on this set, I got lost thinking about that. Give me
Don't
a
mess
little.
it up, baby. They don't play with crab in Baltimore.
No, give me just tell everybody a little bit about what goes into those wings for everybody.
Well, we season and cure them, we par cook them, but then the sauce is like a sticky crab. It's kind of like more like Asian inspired ish, but it has a crab base to it. And then we have it at the restaurant. We put lump crab meat on top that goes with it. And I gotta say, they're pretty good. A little spicy, a little sweet, a little tangy.
Lump meat crab on top of the wing that's infused within the sticky crab.
Yeah.
Shania,
Yes,
how much should
crab all
I
over the
expect to
place.
be able to receive? How much of a serving should I expect to receive? Because it sounds like that's going to be a limited supply. Is there going to be a run on sticky crab wings? We need to
We
get
will
to the
make
front
sure there's an
immediately.
unlimited supply for you.
You sure you got plenty? Because
We will
me
have
and Wally,
plenty.
we throw down.
Now,
Awesome.
Now, Shania, hold on. Before you commit all these unlimited wings to DC, you have to understand he's a former Cincinnati Bengal and Kansas City Chief. And we have to ban him from wearing his Super Bowl rings that he has from the Chiefs when he comes to the local for the Zay Flowers party. Is that going to knock his getting unlimited wings here?
Not at
Shania,
all.
can I wear my rings? Can I wear my rings, Shania?
Go for it. I want to see the
Shania
rings.
said I could rock them. Thank you,
on
Shania.
our side. On our side, okay? No rings. No rings for this guy right here.
Shania has
okay?
already spoken. The goddess has spoken. She has made her verdict. The rings are coming. Shania's gonna wear them with me. I'm gonna get. You wear two, I wear two. How about that?
That sounds like a deal.
So you why my neck hurts all the time from carrying that jewelry.
So, Shania, how long have you been a catering chef with the local?
Almost 3 years now.
So, take me inside. What is that like for you guys doing the catering part of it?
Just a lot of planning and prepping. Catering's a lot of like, it's calm until it's go time. And the best you can do is just prepare yourself, because once it's go time, it's go time. There's no turning back at that point.
I mean, so you guys get kind of a landscape of when it is go time. So I assume that football is a go time mixed into Thanksgiving, which is also a go time, which picks it up. So is it seasonal? What is the timing of when is it go time, and when do you know the business is going to start picking up?
It's definitely busy around like wedding season. So like your springtime, end of summer, beginning of fall. We have like a little bit of a break in summer. And then once Christmas and like Thanksgiving comes around, we start to pick back up for all the holiday parties and family get-togethers, stuff like that. Like we just got out of our busy wedding season, had like a couple week break, and now we're about to pick back up for the next few weeks.
So Shania, being NFL football players, we get to go to work, and sometimes we get to knock the snot out of somebody's nose. What would make you knock the snot out of somebody's nose in your kitchen? Like, say Dave walk in there and he just do something in there. What would make you knock the snot out of his nose like an office linebacker?
I don't know if I'm allowed to answer that. I don't know who's going to. I feel like I gotta be good and professional.
Hey, no, on this podcast, you can be raw. That's what it's for. This is where you can let it out.
You can be raw and uncut here now.
I
We
don't
want to
know.
know what would make Shania knock the snot out of somebody's nose in her kitchen.
It could really depend on the day. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Has it happened? Never mind. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
What is the coolest place you've catered?
The coolest place. Oh man. Honestly, the Visionary Art Museum in Baltimore. That place was pretty dope to cater at. Just because it's so cool.
Yes, it's a cool place now. It's a cool, elegant place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did the live casino. That was pretty cool. Trying to think. A lot of the venues are like outside and like in the wilderness or something. So like they're cool, but no place too like crazy cool. Yeah, probably the Visionary Art Museum.
All right, I have to ask because you mentioned you cater weddings and whatnot, and I've always wondered, and I'm sure you guys have wondered too, when you're at a wedding, like what goes through your guys' minds as the caterers as the wedding's going on, and you're just basically standing there, for lack of a better term?
Most of the time it's entertaining. Because most weddings, everybody's drinking. So honestly, I have a good time at the weddings. It's very like professional and calm in the beginning and, lovey-dovey. Everybody's in love. But once everybody starts drinking and dancing, it's a great time.
Yeah. You kind of let your hair down a little bit. Like, okay, everybody's having a blast. They're cool. I made it through the hard part. Now we just got to get home safe.
It's like when they can breathe, we can breathe. And then everybody's just...
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's fed, happy, dancing now.
And lit.
Right.
Yes.
Lit. That's the part. Lit right there.
Once they're tipsy, you know your job is done.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Shania, thank you for taking some time with us. We cannot wait for December 9th, the Holizay Party at Evolve Hospitality Group in Falston. You'll be there catering. I'm already sold on the wings. We might, you know what? We might have to do part of the podcast is just some tastings.
Yes, we should show up an hour and a half early before everybody else so we can do that.
We're gonna do that.
Oh, no, I meant like as we're taping the podcast.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And we have to do that. And she has to come on and say what's up and the whole deal. Like, hey,
we can bring our own table and 3 chairs and just set up in the corner of the kitchen. You can just kind of flicker stuff as you cooking and prepping.
100%.
We're already sitting there, all 3 of us over here just drooling on the podcast right now. Okay, for the sticky crab wings. We want the sticky crab wings. Okay,
we'll be there like Samu catching it out the air. Be careful, it might turn into like a dog fight. You get it too close in the middle. We all.
Okay. All right, Shania, thank you so much for taking some time with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I can't wait to see you guys. It's going to be a good time.
That's right. Shania's and everybody catering will be there December 9th at the Holizay Party at Evolved Hospitality Group. And we are staying on right here as Shania is getting ready to hop off because we have former Tennessee Titans Ed Block Courage Award recipient waiting. And Wally, I know you have beef here with this one.
I got beef. I got beef. Period. And he knows why too. He knows that's why he's laughing. He knows why.
Well, what happened? What happened? What happened? Man?
That would be. Let's give him the official introduction, Wally, before we start this down this train track. Because here's the funny thing: we have been trying to get this man on the show for a long time. He is a 1996 Ed Block Courage Award recipient with the Houston Oilers, former Tennessee Titans safety, and now a talk show host on 104.5 The Zone.
Oh, man.
That would be Blaine Bishop, kind enough to join us tonight. Blaine, thank you for coming on. I'm going to just step out of the way here because Wally has been dying for this conversation.
Man, look.
I just want to thank y'all for having me on before Wally tried to get
Hey,
I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't.
It's entertaining. It's entertaining for me to talk to guys that I actually played against. Having your teammates is one thing, but somebody that you actually had to go get. Okay, like this cat was a problem. Okay, and he does know why. Okay, because they played that damn defense where they had the damn, all of us covered up almost like the bear defense.
Yeah, they called it 46.
It was a 40, there you go, 46 defense. And his ass was running around there making every damn tackle. Okay. We could not get to it. So
they covered me up, man. They covered me up.
Before I even get into that, though, Blaine, this is what I really want to ask you, man. Look, you guys were in the same boat with us, okay? Cleveland, Baltimore. But we don't hear about this Houston, Tennessee thing too much. Nobody says what that transition was for you guys. I want to hear what that was all about.
Well, that was it was unique in that I was franchise tagged, so I held out the entire time. Let's just say that. But so when we moved here, I was still out. I didn't show up till 3 days till the first regular season game. But it was tough sledding. Naturally, we were in trailer parks in Bellevue, Tennessee, which when the facility was getting built. We were in a temporary stadium. We played in Memphis, but we lived here, so every game was away. Then the second year we were at Vanderbilt till they finished the stadium. The third year is when we actually got into the stadium. So, and then we got our new jerseys, the Tennessee Titans. So we were the Tennessee Oilers for 2 years, and then we were the Tennessee Titans. So I was a Houston Oiler, Tennessee Oiler, and a Tennessee Titan, which is very, not, very unusual in the National Football League. So that was really weird. But just to imagine that the Houston Oilers were going to move, I thought it was just a negotiating ploy at the time. Mm-hmm. I was a young player, but I still didn't believe that the Houston Oilers was going to move out of the state of Texas. I couldn't imagine. But, eventually they, didn't want to build a stadium. I would say it was more, but, he was a shrewd business guy, and that was Cass Bud Adams, the late great Adams. Now his daughter runs everything, Amy Adams Shrunk. And so then they end up building a stadium for McNair and the new owners, and everything that Bud wanted, they built. They did it there in Houston. But so it was a tough transition. I like to move because I was closer to home. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. I didn't go to a big school. I went to Ball State. It's a big school, but it's not a football power by any means. And then so just to get drafted, I was just happy to be closer home. I was really heavily involved in my community there in Indy at the time. So especially the Boys and Girls Club, so which I was a part of, and lived in the neighborhood right behind it. So yeah,
starting your career off in such a Bush League situation, how did you appreciate the NFL once you actually got into a situation where it was like a quality locker room, quality stadium, and it was actually the way it was supposed to be?
Oh man, that's a great question. Well, that's first off, my rookie year, Bud Adams in training camp, which we had training camp in San Antonio, told us he was going to dismantle the team, the owner, if we didn't win the Super Bowl. Yeah, so that my rookie year. Now we had some dudes. Now my rookie year was Warren Moon's last year there, and so we had Sean Jones, William Fuller. They had guys. They brought in Wilbur Marshall. He still has some, gas in the tank. Man, you had great Chris Dishman at corner, Bubba McDowell. Yeah, there are a little stuff that we had some guys. Al Smith at middle linebacker, Lamar Latham. So I got to tell into that old school, man. So I got indoctrinated that way. So it was legit then. We still were in a small facility, but it wasn't, I would say, NFL worthy. And then when we got here and they built it to get to see what it was like, and then now they've even expanded it. Amy has added a whole new building basically to the other side. So, but it was really nice once we got into the facility. It felt like we're home, and I think that's why we had success that first year we got into the stadium in '99. And actually, we ended up going to the Super Bowl, and we weren't a Super Bowl caliber team. Going into the season, we were middle of the road, 9-7, 8-8, 7-9. We kept being all that, and then the addition of Javon Curse really kind of transformed our defense and made it easier as well. We know in the 46 defense, it made everybody's job a lot easier.
Just drove Wally nuts if you haven't figured that out.
I mean, look, because that defense, man, that defense, I want to, kind of place that defense in today's market. Okay, yeah. the skill players that you guys had at those positions, because it was a very, it was a pain in the ass. All right, I hated playing you guys, and I hated playing the Bengals. Okay, and I go ahead and say that because the Bengals were always loaded with high draft picks that couldn't play together.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
But they were coming as individuals. Okay, but they could not play as a team. All right, so I didn't like playing either one of you guys in the division. But you guys' defense was the most complicated. How would you think with that 46, that old school defense? Put that in today's. Would that take over the NFL and be a force?
Well, you have to have the right pieces to the puzzle for that defense to actually really work in today's. If they, you spread it out now, back then everybody ran the ball more so than they throw the ball. But if you spread it out, like I was a corner in college, so I had cover skills, even though I was always in the box most of the time. That's why they were covering up, because I was more on the smaller side. I was really a nickel guy. And that's what I got into the league until they start having all these injuries. And then they was like, oh, temporarily we'll put you right here. And so that's why I held out when they franchise tagged me. I wanted to get traded because I knew I couldn't survive in this defense. Even as much as it gave me a lot of clout, my body was going to eventually break down. And so, yeah, so they tagged me. So, so it was, it's very unique. You got to have linebackers that can cover and rush. So it freed me up. The defense revolved around the actual strong safety being able to be a playmaker in the run game as well as the pass game, because there's so many adjustments and you got to know them automatically based off the formation. So what we had to do going into the games, each game they call what they gave us as an AFC sheet. And you had to have every formation memorized in every adjustment. And that's why he liked me in there, because I was smart and I would study, because I felt like I was always, just a step too slow, and I was just, short. And so I always was, I always had all the, I guess adjustments pretty quick. And so as a young player, that gave me an opportunity before most. And then so spreading out, you got to have a guy who going to play that spot in the box. He got to be able to cover. I mean, before that, I was playing the nickel before that. So I don't know if it would be as big now, but there's still, I see on TV guys playing in that 46 defense, and they knew to cover me up. So I was always the free guy. So that really helped me out. And it was just the 85 Bears defense. It was Buddy Ryan's defense in 85.
Correct.
When they won the Super Bowl.
Correct.
So that's what it was.
And the problem with that was that, guys, look, in the NFL, it really is a copycat kind of league. But most teams are running a 4-man front and a 3-man front. They were the only team running that 46 in their base defense.
Yeah, okay? Well, we had our Sam and our Will on the same side, on the tight end side. And so there was no gap uncovered. There was no gap uncovered. It was the weirdest thing. I had never seen anything like that. I watched the Bears growing up. That's how I saw the Bears, because the Colts didn't live. I mean, they didn't come till I was in 8th grade. So I watched. We got Bears games in Indianapolis. It was a very unique defense, man. And you got to have you got to have cover corners on the outside. There was no way around it, and everybody usually got one good one, but then the other one. So then they would just go after that one. So once it's, we start losing players, at the corner, then not getting a legitimate pass rushers, the defense kind of changed, and you had to start evolving, and the pieces start going away, and then next I'm in Philadelphia.
Well, and you go to Philadelphia and you end up playing alongside Brian Dawkins, one of the best safeties in football. What was it like playing across from him?
Oh man, it was. Let me just say this: the whole secondary, I wanted because I wanted to get a ring, So me and Doc had the same agent, and he said, "Man, you got to play with this guy, man." And he was, oh man, he was more than that than I ever imagined. He could have actually played corner, but he was just too aggressive natured for that super skill. But I had Troy Vincent, I had Bobby Taylor, Al Harris, and then we had the pass rusher there. Hugh Douglas was the main guy there. He was one of the leaders of the team, as wrong with Troy, but B-Dog, he would do some things I had never seen before. Sometimes I'd be like, man, why was you flying in the air? I forgot what he called himself. He was like an X-Man or something. He had 2 lockers at the facility. Like, this is no lie. He had 2 lockers. Yeah, he had all these dials, that were, muscle build. And that's what it was. And what's the thing called when the spikes come out the hand? Yeah, that's what he was. That's what he called himself, the Wolverine. Yeah. And this dude was real religious, by the way, guy. So I wasn't that way. I would just be like, MFing and saying stuff, and he's like, hey, man, you can't say that. You can't do that. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? We're just talking about practice in the game. So one time, man, I don't remember who he hit, but he hit somebody so hard. I was like, oh my God. He stood up and said, Lord Jesus, please pray for him.
Wow. That's different.
And I looked I said, well, we came to the sideline, a couple plays later, because it still had me in stun.
Like,
I said, what were you doing right there? Why'd you say that? I said, that was a good hit. That was a good hit. He said, right. I was praying for him because I hit him so hard. I didn't want him to be hurt. This dude was different, man. Dude was different, man. Hey, man, he was the mildest, coolest dude off the field, man. Yeah, it was really insane. He'd go into the stall before the game and start banging. You don't know where all the noise is coming from. And he had that Vader on his thing, because I used to be looking at him like, hey, man, did you get my call? Because they said, Blaine, we want you to make all the calls. I said, well, Doc been here. He know the scheme. He's like, oh, no. Jim Johnson, Laker Johnson, the DC was like, no, you're going to make the call. And Spagnolas was our safeties coach. KC, DC, right? Wow. Andy bring all his guys. Spagnolas was our DC. He was my safeties coach. Leslie Frazier was the corners coach. He was the DB coach. And so, man, these dudes is like, nah, he be doing his own thing. He be moving around doing so much stuff. Like, he supposed to have deep middle. He on the line like he blitzing. And I'm like, damn, what are you doing? I was looking around like, damn, am I running the wrong play? And yeah, he was that good, man. I never would line up on a play. I didn't do that till at the end, but he was still a young player. He probably was on his 3rd, 4th year. And actually, I told him he should be, I was just there to lend him to see that he could be great and not just really good. And I kept on saying, hey, man, you the best thing I ever seen, man. And he was making plays all over the place. He should have got Defensive Player of the Year. That's how good he would make a play every game. Like, he would intercept the ball and fly in the air and make you like, dang, man, you thought you were Superman? Yeah, he was doing some things I hadn't seen in a long time, doing fake punts, blocking punts, pick it up, running for a touchdown. I was like, wow. Man, that year there, boy, I was disappointed we didn't win the Super Bowl, but boy, I was even more disappointed that he didn't win Defensive Player of the Year. He was just that dude.
Oh, I'm going to say it like this, okay? I didn't play against him, all right? But I played against your ass, okay? All right, and there was no other safety that would mess up our day. I don't care if it was Cornell Lake or Steve Atwater, whoever else was out there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nobody messed up our day more than Blaine Bishop. Nobody. So
I take it as an honor, man. Because after the games, people would say, "Hey, man, we game playing to stop you."
Correct.
I said, "Well, if y'all stop me, then everybody else gonna make plays." So they took care of me, man. But it was a special group of guys, man. And, we didn't have a whole bunch of elite players, but we had some really good players who understood the game, which you watch the game now, it's a little bit different, better athletes, but I don't know if they really understand the game and understand what they're supposed to really be doing, and even on tackling. So Yeah, man. We
You
had
know
some
they don't do
dudes,
that,
man.
bro. Yeah.
Nah. So yeah, it was fun time, man. Fun time, man. I don't know though. In the foot race, man, B-Dog, he was bad, man. He was a bad dude, boy. Now I was at the end of my career that time, and so I was just like, man, this dude is man. He might as well done a backflip in the game and intercepted the ball. That's how talented he was doing stuff, man. It was insane.
So Blaine, I know that we played with some of the same guys. I played with Warren Moon and Chris Dishman, and
Yeah.
I remember one of the most iconic moments when I was in college and I got a phone call for Warren Moon, and I thought my friends were playing with me, and then I recognized his voice, and it was like, holy shit, I
Big
must be
dog.
really going to the league because Warren Moon is calling me. What was your iconic moment when you knew finally, like, okay, I must be doing something? I'm getting a phone call, or I'm hanging in a circle that I ain't never expect to be in so soon.
Man, I wasn't a man. I'm gonna tell you my whole story. It may be long winded, but I'll make it short as I can. All right. Now I was everything in high school, and I was a running back and defensive back, but I was more running back. My heart and soul was running back, and just all the way growing up. I go to private school, and then I make all city, all state, all metro. I didn't get hardly recruited anywhere. All Division II school. So I ended up going to a Division II school for 1 year at St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer, Indiana. Now, it wasn't that far. It's like an hour and a half. I had never heard of Rensselaer, Indiana. And I went there with a couple other guys from my high school. And we, they didn't make everything, but they were
as a running back.
Yeah, as a running back.
As a running back. Right.
But I started both ways. I went to a private Catholic school. McLaren, the guy, the receiver for the Commanders. We went to same high school.
Okay.
So I would know him, right? And so, but I played both ways because it was a small Catholic school. So I played defensive back. And so what they would do is, I'm at a Catholic school. I wasn't Catholic, but I'd run the ball down there, and then we get inside the 5, and they put the CYO kid, the Catholic kid, in there and get the touchdown. So I used to get mad on playing on defense, and I just start hitting people. And I'm playing corner. All I did was play man-to-man corner the whole time. And so I didn't get recruited. They said I was small. They said I was too small. So I was a Notre Dame fan growing up. So I wanted to go to Notre Dame because it was the same, go Fighting Irish. I was the Fighting Irish in high school. Lou Holtz and those guys like, nah, he can't play. He not good. So that kind of lit me up, man. That took me to another. I was a hard worker, blue collar. But I went on a whole lot to start running heels and doing all this stuff. So I get to college, I start my rookie year. And to be honest, if I didn't go to this Division II school, I don't think the NFL scouts would have ever noticed me. One of the games, I think it was the 4th game I played. I can't remember who it was. They had 2 of the running backs got hurt, so I got to be second string running back and going into this game. But I started defensive back. I never fought it because I wanted to play more than I wanted to be right. I really was a running back. I like, you're going to start over here. You're going to be, it was all good running back. So this game, the starter at running back got hurt. So I scored, intercepted a touchdown, returned a punt for a touchdown, scored 2 touchdowns at running back. After this game, the NFL, Giants and Jets talked to me after that game. Literally 4 months after I didn't get recruited, said, you're an NFL prospect. I was like, what? I couldn't even believe it. I didn't even believe it.
One game changed everything. 4th
game, literally, I was like, whoa. And so then I didn't think about it really except that day. And then the season went on, I made Division II All-American. So I go back to my high school coach. That's who I was at 19. And said, hey, man, am I Division I player now? He said, absolutely. I really wanted to say, what changed in 6 months? Because I'm still the same size.
Right.
Ain't nothing changed. And so he said, you can go to Indiana State. They didn't have a good program. Their football program wasn't good. He knew my whole, personal. I was a single parent mother. My mother had a government job working for the Fort Benjamin Harrison as a computer programmer. We didn't have a lot of money. He said, you can go to IU. You probably have to, and the rules was different. You had to sit out, but he said, you probably wouldn't start right away. You go to Ball State, you start right away. I said, call Ball State. I had to walk on to Ball State for a semester. Then they gave me a scholarship. I had to get to practice, but I had to sit out. I couldn't play. I couldn't dress for games. And so they used that as my redshirt year. And so from that point on, NFL scouts followed me the whole time. And I played corner and still wanted to play running back. But I had Bernie Pomeroy was the starter there who went to the Dolphins.
Bernie Palmer played for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and they say you could be third string running back. And the Corey Kroom he was the same year as me, but he was right behind Bernie, and he got drafted in the 4th round. He just tore his ACL in New England. But so you can be third string running back. They say you can compete at corner to start. And I looked at them. I said, with who? Because I had practiced the whole fall season, and I knew where I was at. I was just that confident now. My confidence went to a whole nother level. And then I started there, and then made all conference. Then I got, Senior Bowl, Blue Grade, Combine invite. In my senior year, after the season was up, and then I get these invites and go, oh, so I got a shot. And really, I didn't really have a draft party. My call, you talk about your call? The Oilers called me in the 4th or 5th round and said, we're going to take me. And they didn't take me.
Oh, snap.
I got up off my couch in my apartment, left, and said, I think I need to study for this test. So I went to the library, studied for the test. They called me again in the 214 pick, and they said, we're going to take me, man. I was so got, man. I was like, y'all said that last time. I'm talking to the GM.
Right.
No, you didn't say that to the GM.
I said, hey, man. And so they said, no, we took you this time. And I said, well, I'm not by TV. I'm in the library, and I got past this last test, make sure I get up out of here and graduate.
Right.
And so when I went back home, I saw that I got, they saw on the ticket that I got drafted. So I was pretty elated, but I was a little disappointed on the draft. For me, it wasn't a big hunky dory. I didn't have anybody there. I had my 2 roommates, and then once I didn't get drafted in the 5th round, they had stuff to do. So we both, it was teammates, of course. So I used everything for drive and fuel, but burned inside me, because I was a leader, but I wasn't like a rah guy all the time. I was just focused and driven my whole entire life. Like, I'd go to the basketball game. Ball State went to Sweet 16 when I was in college, and man, at halftime of games, I go to the game. I'm going in there power cleaning at halftime at the weight room in the gym. Like, I was just dude like that, man. Yeah, I was just really focused. Dude was like on the team, like, man, you crazy, man. What are you doing? And then next you know, I'm in the gym where we intramural champions. I'm 360 dunking, 42 and a half at the combine and all of that. So yeah, I put in work. I mean, I was, I had some talent, but I put in the work like we all did. But man, the odds was against me just from day one. So I always played into that role and used that as motivation and fuel my entire life. I got tired of people, like I said, I didn't talk a lot. I got tired of people telling me what I wasn't. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, I'm about to bust this dude up. So even in the league, when I got in the league, the coaches thought I was, like crazy, because on Wednesday and Thursday, I'd start making up lies about the team we playing. I said, that's the dude that robbed my mother. He carjacked my mother. That's that dude. I used to say that because I you know why I started doing that? I saw how when Hines Ward illegally blocked me one time, and I thought he tore my ACL. And I go, oh, and I looked up at him, he started laughing. I said, oh, he didn't mess with the wrong dude. I turned on the tape and I watched after that how I was so mad. I was running around mad at everybody. Even my own teammate. I was like, hey man, you better get out of my way. And I said, I have to recreate that every game in my mind. And whatever I had to do, because we all know how exhausting it is in a game every week to just perform at your A game. Every game, I'm bringing my A game, and I'm going to find a reason to be pissed off on that day. And that's what I did. And the coaches knew not to talk to me because I'm building up by Thursday, Friday. I'm coming up with my plan of what's going to piss me off going into this game. That was the true me behind the scenes. That's what happened.
I want to pivot Blaine and
Maniac.
Yeah. Like, because I was real big on this mental stuff and holistic and mental stuff. Then my boy Mike B turned me on to all this holistic stuff. He was from the U. We were the 2 draft picks from that class, Buddy Ryan. and he was all into this holistic stuff. So I got into all this different stuff, and it was like, dang, man, my body is healing fast. I don't know what's going on, because the coaches used to come in there and be like, hey, man, how you feeling? You all right? They think I was going to be broke up. I was like, man, I feel great. So I was doing all this stuff I had never done before, man, and needles in my head, my back, all this stuff, man. And it was just kind of evolved to that. But I wasn't that when I got in the league. I wasn't that. It evolved and got created. It started with actually practice, when they started burying me at practice on special team, and I got pissed off then, and I said, line the F back up. And they said, oh, who the hell is this dude? Yeah, Dishman and I think it was Stevie J. They're the ones who buried me. You know, everybody was great players in college, but you know, I got embarrassed. I was like, dang, they just dumped me. I had never been dumped before in my life. That's where it started.
Welcome to the league.
Yeah, yeah.
We gotta get ready to let you go, Blaine, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, what did it mean to you to be an Ed Block Courage Award recipient?
Oh man, that was the year that I had no idea I was going to win an award, and they were very good at surprising different players, whether you get announced for the Pro Bowl or some award or something like that. So I had no idea, and I had played that season with a torn labrum, and so I had this contraption on me the whole entire time. And it was just like, oh my God, I had reconstructive surgery after that season was up. So, and I became somewhat the leader at that point in time. So I was super excited about it. You know, it's so funny. We've been married 25 years. I said, oh, you remember went to the Ed Block Courage Award, honey? She said, oh, I remember my outfit. That's the first thing she said.
There you go.
So yeah, it was a special time, and you take pride in that award, man, especially knowing everybody's playing with something, man. But I could have easily just not have played that entire season. I think I played half the season like that. So that was pretty unique and fun all at the same time, and not thinking that I was going to get rewarded for that, not asking for an award or looking for an award.
Well, man, you got to come back to Baltimore and hang out with us.
Yeah,
yeah, man. Y'all off the water and everything, just like where they had the Ed Block, y'all off the water. Nah, you out in the burbs, huh? You out in the burbs?
No, man. Same place, same block, same people. You'll see us there, all right, and you see a cast of other characters there. So we're just trying to get all of our guys to come back and have a good time with us, man. And I'd definitely love to see you guys. I can put my hands on you now. See, I ain't put my hands on you on the field. I can get you now.
Oh man, hey man, we all different now.
He ain't gonna come out
I'm
now.
mean machine. I'm back to my man. I'm back to my college way. So I'm trying to before I fall apart, man. So I'm holding on to it. Yeah, man. Hey, if y'all have something big time, man, give me an invite, man. You know, I kind of stay in my cubby hole in Tennessee, man. That's the only people who know me.
Blaine, you just might get an invite back, but then that means you got to come back on the podcast when you come to town with us.
Oh, I'm coming to the podcast, man. I definitely do that, man. I love having fun on there, shooting it up with the fellas, man. Shooting crap with the fellas. That's for sure. Always.
Right. Well, we do have to let you go. We do actually have to wrap up this podcast. This has been a lot of fun. We hope everybody has a happy and safe Thanksgiving. We will be back next week. Our thanks to Cory Trice, the first announced Ed Block Courage Award recipient this year for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was a fun conversation. Our thanks to Shania, who has us thinking about sticky crab wings now for the next 2 weeks. And, of course, to our man Blaine Bishop, who you can hear him every day on 104.5. Blaine, what's the title of your show and what time are you guys on so everybody can tune in and hear more from you?
Yeah, 104.5 is on 1 to 3 Central Time, and it's called Cover 2. So I've been on the station at different times throughout my radio career. Then I thought I was going to be a broadcaster, but it never worked out. I had to face for radio, so that's what happened. So yeah, I've been on there for 15 years, man. So yeah, it's been good, man. Been fun, man. It kept me attached to the game.
Awesome,
sure.
Awesome, man.
All right, man.
Blaine Bishop.
Appreciate y'all, brothers.
See you, Blaine. Thank you.
All right, man.
All right.
Thank you.
For DC, for Wally Williams, I'm Dave Steinwedel. This has been the Ed Block Couragecast.